Hi, welcome to another Gadget Report. Let's talk gadgets, and today, yes, we are talking gadgets, and this is a very good news for those who love gadgets, love traveling, and are planning or want to travel to Europe. The news itself, it's not really latest news, but I think it's a very good news. So I'm telling you about a possible new route for Aussies into Europe. So come with me, let's talk gadgets. So, as I said, this may not be latest news, but is something that I find really important and that might be an option if you are planning to travel to Europe in the European summer, which would be our winter. So if you try, or if you're planning to run away from the Aussie winter and go into the European summer, this might be an option for you. So I'm talking about Qantas and its flight directly from Perth to Paris Charles de Gaulle. This is a very good option. As I mentioned before, if you really like those long flights, the more direct options, this might be for you. For example, if you are in Perth, this would be great. You would get there in one stop. But for example, it might be a very good option for those in the east coast of Australia. This is because you would have to do a domestic flight into Perth and then one flight into Europe, of course, and then it all depends where you will end up. If you are planning to stay in Paris, there you go, you're already there. If you will have another one to go, then you would have to buy another ticket from Paris, which I think would be an easy option because there will be all those low-cost airlines in Europe that get you into basically all European cities with a very competitive price. So I think this may be the option for you. So this was released, or this started in July, on the 12th of July last year, in 2024 to be precise, and Qantas restarted its connection to Paris de Gaulle airport. I remember, I believe I did a video, an article, I think it was, about this at the time. I no longer have those articles because my website now does not have the blog. But I remember I mentioned this at the time, and now I decided to talk about it. First of all, because it comes after the poll and talking about these direct flights, and then because I think it is a very good option. So this is a direct flight from Perth to Paris, and it would just get us closer to Europe. According to a Qantas press release at the time, so this was from July 2024, this flight would cut the current time, so the current route at the time, all of this referred to July last year, so I do not know now, but I would say it would stand about the same. So it would cut the current route in July by 3 hours. So 3 hours is, I would say, a very good good thing, a very good outcome if you really want to get there faster. Then it would be a very good option for European travelers, for example, because if they are in any city in Europe, they would just need to get a low-cost flight into Paris, and then off they go, and they would be in Australia. And then again, they could go, although unfortunately the Australian market, it's not as good as the European market, we don't have as much options in terms of low cost and in terms of domestic operations as they do have in Europe, where they have a world of low cost airlines. They have obviously the flag carriers of each one of the countries, and of course they have options, and with option comes a better price because competition creates that for them. We don't have that in Australia, but again, if you are already cutting your cost in Europe and then you have that flight that gets you into Australia, then you might really accommodate the domestic flights in Australia. That is a good thing. For example, if you plan to come to the East Coast, if you plan to stay in Perth, for example, then you don't even have to pay for the domestic flights in Australia, which I don't think the majority of people that come, they would obviously like to also visit the East Coast. But think about it, it would be a good option. You could stay in Perth for 1 or 2 days and then get that domestic flight into Sydney or into Brisbane or Melbourne, and then explore the East Coast. I think it's a good option if you want to visit Australia, to take the opportunity of visiting as much of Australia as you can. Of course, it's not possible to visit the entirety of the country. It's a huge country, unless you are going to take 1 year holidays. And I think even with 1 year, you might not be able to visit everything, because as you know, Australia is huge and we have a lot to visit and a lot of good places, a lot of good experiences to have. So it would be hard, but I think this would get you at least a little bit of the east and west of Australia. Most of our tourism just lands in Sydney. They may visit the Gold Coast. They may venture a little north and go into Brisbane or even Cairns. And sometimes they miss out on Western Australia entirely, which has a lot to offer as well. And this would be, I would say, it would be a boost for the Western Australian tourism, and would be a great opportunity for people to visit and see the West Coast, the west part of Australia, that is also beautiful and has a lot to offer as well. So for Europeans, this would open another option for them. It would be a great opportunity to visit a little bit more of Australia. And for us, Aussies, would be a good option as well, because that flight into Perth would be like a flight for Singapore or whatever other destination. We know that we always have to do like one stopover, at least one stop, and that would be a domestic flight. Again, it could give us the opportunity of visiting Western Australia. We could stay there overnight and just enjoy a little bit of Perth, and then off we go to Paris. And then would be a direct flight into Paris. We would be in Europe, and then we have a huge market there with plenty of competition, plenty of airlines that we could choose our flight to whatever our final destination is. If it is in Paris, off we are there. If we wanted something else, we had plenty of options. So I think this is a good opportunity. The catch is, I think we need competition, and the flights need to be competitive enough for people to say, okay, I am going to choose this because it's a good option, and price-wise, I think it gives me value for money. At the time that I was doing this research, this was about 2-3 weeks ago, the pricing, and I checked with Qantas. So this was a little research that I did on Qantas website, and the flights for going from Sydney. I checked all the three main cities on the east coast. So if you go from Sydney, it would be, at the time, the flights would be $1,228. From Melbourne would be $1,621, and from Brisbane $1,654. All of these prices would be one way. So this is still on the high end of things, which again, I stress, we need competition in Australia, so this can come down. And if Qantas really wants to make this trip happen and makes this a really good option both for Aussies and Europeans alike, I think there need to be more competition. There need to be a better pricing. I think is still on a high side of things. I would say, for example, for me and my family, would be totally impossible to take this flight, because for 3 people, and this is just one way, it is far too much. So is something to consider, of course, and you need to play with the dates. I have already said this many times. If you really want to go, be flexible with your dates. I know if you have children, that is a totally crazy thing to say, because everything is very flexible. But then think about it. If you can't afford it, you won't go. So, of course, you're not going to jeopardize your kids' education by going on holidays when they are in school. I obviously don't agree with that either. And I don't advocate for it either. So I would say try to see, but of course, if you don't have children, your options are a little bit more endless than for those of us who do have children, because you can play with your dates, and sometimes 2 or 3 days can make a huge difference. So 2 or 3 days may not make a huge difference on your holiday in terms of, for example, requesting days off, etc., but it may be a lot of difference in your purse. So I think the secret is playing with the dates. This was what at the time was giving me the cheaper flights that I could get. So this is just a reference, really. It's nothing more than that, because of course I don't know exactly what to get. And this, I believe I booked this, or I tried this, and I put the dates for July, I think it was. So it's important that you know your options, and then you can compare with other options out there. I would say this would be an incredible opportunity to visit Western Australia and then get into Europe faster. However, it really, I think at this stage, the price is still a little bit on the high note. Qantas needs to do something about this. And maybe this will be a very good option. I think I decided to bring this today because, if budget is not a problem for you, why not considering this option and visiting a little bit more of our beautiful country, for example. I think it's a great option. I would prefer, if obviously I had the budget for this type of pricing, I would prefer, for example, to fly with Qantas and fly from Perth directly into Europe than other options in the market. Definitely a no-brainer. I would do that in a second. I need, as I said, I think we need more competition in the Australian market, not only internationally, but domestically. Domestically, especially, it's a massive problem at the moment. We just have too bigger competitors, and that is no good. We need more. We need Rex is still around. We need more presence. We need Rex to become stronger again. We need more competition, more airlines thrown in the mix. It was a shame that we lost Bonza because that was a good one. But you know, we need more competition, and this is again the proof that when you don't have competition, it's the consumer that loses. It's the consumer that end up missing out on a lot of good things because, of course, companies may take advantage of that lack of competition. And I think that is what is happening here. So I decided to bring this option. Let me know if you like it. And let me know, maybe you've already done this route. Let us know. How was it? So for today, I hope you like this gadget report, this last gadget report from the month of April. I hope you liked it. I hope you maybe you will consider this route. Or maybe you have already done it. As I said before, if you did, leave us a comment. Drop me a line. Leave me a comment below. Tell me or tell us about your experience. Was it good? How was it? What do you think about in terms of pricing? Did you get a good deal when you did this route? What did you go? What dates did you choose? What days of the week did you choose? Because I know that sometimes just one day of the week may do a huge difference from sometimes if you don't choose, for example, the Fridays, the Thursdays, the Fridays, that end of the week that everyone wants to go at the end of the week for weekends and stuff. You may get a better deal. If instead of choosing a Sunday, you choose a Monday, for example, or a Tuesday, it may get you there as well. It all depends on, as I said, the secret here is always playing with the dates, playing with the options there. And if you are a little bit more flexible with that, you may end up getting actually a very good deal. It all depends on where you want to go and what availability do you have in terms of time. If you are really not very concerned about that, if you can be very flexible, then I would say you can get extremely good deals on every flight because you can play around dates and get the best options that are in the market. So again, if you've done this, let us know in the comments below. Or if you're planning to go, if you have booked this trip, please let us know, and then please let us know about your experience. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any other subject that you would like me to discuss in this gadget report, just leave a comment below. You know I love talking gadgets, so if you have any gadget related issue, then let me know and I'll do it. And of course, I've said that this before, my channel has been growing. I'm very, very, very happy and grateful. Thank you so much for watching my gadget report and being as in love with gadgets as I am. And I would like to also ask you for a little favor. A lot of you come and watch my videos and you guys don't put a like or subscribe the channel. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm still grateful that you watch my videos. That is very important and I'm very, very happy that you do. But I would like to ask you that little favor. Please put a like, subscribe the channel with a click on the bell so you get a notification of a new gadget report every week, and comment. Put a comment, share with your friends. because that will help my channel grow. For example, because the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, will pick up that I'm having more viewers, I'm having more likes and comments and shares, and of course that will mean that they will show my content to more people, and more people will have the opportunity of enjoying these gadget reports. So this is why I am asking you this little favor. It's totally free. I'm not going to send you any emails or anything like that. I don't even know the contacts for my subscribers, so obviously that doesn't happen. So please just put a like, subscribe the channel, and leave a comment, and be a part of this amazing community. And before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.